Good day guys, nice to have you here. Don't you just love democracy? And since the votes are in, I decided to create this video. Let's kick things off slow, really slow.
What are you waiting for, Chinese New Year?
Thirsty?
Alright, enough fooling around. Let's go back to our regular program. Today we will discuss some of the forgotten heroes that are not actually bad when played in the right team, at the right time, in the right hands, and some suggestions on what you can do in order to win your games with such heroes. Just to be clear, this is based on the low picks from Mythic 3 or higher. In addition to that, we are going to select heroes with a pick of less than 0.5% and a ban rate less than 0.3%. And finally, this is for solo rank games only.
You're on your own.
Quite frankly, if you're playing in a team and you have a solid strategy, almost any hero will be formidable. With that being said, let's go.
Here we go.
Hilda is a hero with very easy mechanics. You kill and take assists, you get stacks permanently. You max out your stacks permanently, you gain bonus damage for your ultimate, which will give you tremendous killing potential. She has excellent chase down capabilities due to the excellent synergy of her first skill's temporary movement speed boost, which has a wide hero lock range. She also has a second skill that has wide range and ultimate that deals hero locked damage. This means even if they blink out or even teleport, once your skills have been casted, your target will be damaged anyway. Problem is, a lot of people think it's that simple. While it's true that all heroes require excellent map awareness, but Hilda is one of the heroes that needs it the most. I see a lot of players even in the higher ranks that tend to have tunnel vision. And when playing heroes like Hilda that rely on stacks to be effective, you can't afford to have that. Tunnel vision is when you become so focused on what you are currently doing that you forget to look at the minimap or see what else is happening around you. With Hilda, it's extremely important for you to have high attention to your minimap because you need to get stacks. One more thing is you should always know what items your target has. Whenever I play Hilda, a few seconds before I use my ultimate or a few seconds before I plan on taking down an enemy, I take a peek on the scoreboard. The reason behind this is you need to know if your target has items that will render your ultimate useless. You should be aware of items such as Wind of Nature, Twilight Armor, and Winter Truncheon. In addition to that, Hilda is best played not as a tank, but as a non-support XP laner. Hilda just isn't tanky enough and lacks the crowd control kit a good support or tank needs. She is however excellent in chasing down and finishing off escapees and taking care of heroes with average to below average defenses, such as mages, assassins, and marksmen. As for the hero build, get emblems that will improve her skill cooldown. Same goes with items. When you're building her equipment, give it a ratio of 2 to 3 damage items and or 2 to 3 defensive items, and try to have cooldown reduction within your equipment as well. Also, remember earlier I told you it's important that you get assists as early as possible. That means it's important that you master her first skill first. I know it sounds kinda stupid since her second skill deals a ton of damage, but what's the use of your second skill if by the time you reach your target, they're either already dead or worse, they already escaped? Prioritizing her second skill is only ideal if you're playing Hilda as a jungler in order for you to clear the jungle fast. In my opinion though, she's not the best option for the jungle. Which brings me to my point again. Prioritize both her ultimate and first skill first. Valeer is a very dangerous mage capable of dealing tremendous damage in rapid succession. He has above average potential to secure kills with the help of his crowd control skills. And don't get me started with his second skill's knockback effect. Now here's the problem. A lot of players tend to play him dominantly with mage items, which makes Valeer extremely squishy. That's the problem. Valeer is actually an excellent ranged bruiser. Quite a unique class, right? But yes, ranged bruisers do exist. And if you guys are new to the channel, a bruiser is any hero that has the ability to tank and deal damage. If you play Valeer with mostly defensive items, trust me, you will be a very powerful bruiser slash support. Valeer is one of those heroes that doesn't really need too many damage items in order to be effective in dealing damage. In my opinion, when appropriate, the only magic item you should have on him is Winter Truncheon or Enchanted Talisman, and a magic item of your choice. Though in most cases, that'll be Necklace of Durans due to obvious reasons. Then the rest should be defensive items. I find Thunderbelt a very desirable item for Valeer since it gives him the ability to slow enemies down. Can you imagine the chaos when you add more crowd controls to your kit? The rest of the defensive items are totally up to you. Build according to the situation and lineup of your enemy. By the way, I'm sure some of you will ask, how do we determine which item we should choose? Winter Truncheon or Enchanted Talisman? Well, if your allies are not support reliant or they are heroes that can kill, survive, and roam on their own, then go with Winter Truncheon, especially if you have enemies that have very powerful ultimates such as 1-1. Then choose Enchanted Talisman only if you have allies that require your presence on the map as frequent as possible. That way, you'll gain enough mana that you need in order to keep on going, rather than recalling back to base every now and then. Usually, this is a situation when you have an ally that needs to be leashed or requires a support in order to survive or roam around the map safely. One last tip, use your ultimate with care. It has the same effect as Purify, which means it's best used when somebody has stunned you or has caused a crowd control effect on Valeer. Ultimately, the main point of this build is to last longer in clashes and become extremely disruptive. Your goal is not to bank on kills. Your goal is to help your team and win the game. Believe me, I'm not being biased here. Argus truly is an excellent hero as long as you know what you're doing. You can build him whichever way you prefer. Personally though, I recommend getting items which improves attack speed and critical damage at the same time. I also suggest getting Killing Spree for him in order to get additional sustain after taking down an enemy hero. Simple, right? Here's the problem. People seem to prefer sticking with their old ways despite Argus receiving a revamp. I know you guys love Sprint. I know you guys love Execute. I do too. Well, I did. But right now, trust me, that is not the way to go at all. Instead, I strongly suggest Purify or Flicker on Argus. Now, before you act violently and start calling me names, hear me out first. When applicable, I recommend using his ultimate only when you lose roughly 50% of your HP, especially if you have enemies with high burst damage or you are going against 2 or more heroes. Normally, people would stun or lock Argus away in order to prevent him from landing his attacks, therefore wasting his ultimate, right? That's what they usually do. Well, that's when Purify comes in. If they stun you or do anything to stop you while your ultimate is active, use Purify or, like I said earlier, Flicker to get in close. That will render their actions useless. Here's another suggestion. Your first skill is supposed to be either an escape skill or a chase down skill. Don't recast your first skill right away mindlessly. Make sure that when you use it to either retreat or reach a target that is far from you. That's it for today. Just remember guys, winning doesn't always mean you have to get more kills or become MVP. I myself only get MVP maybe 4 or 5 times out of 10, and that's okay as long as I win more games. I also know some players with higher kill rates and more MVP counts, but their win rates are, well, let's just say less than desirable. Sometimes to get a win, you have to let your allies become the main protagonist, even if they are complete strangers. Anyway, which other least picked heroes do you think are also effective in ranked games? Tell us in the comment section below, and also tell us why you think those heroes are capable of performing well. And again, if you haven't yet, don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe. Stay safe everyone. Peace.